everyone out there. This is your singing TV host. I'm just joking. My name is Charles Allen, and you're watching Black News Tonight. I'm so excited about the show we have ahead. Listen, we got Nate Collison. He's running for city council in the city of Saginaw. He's also a lawyer, a defense attorney. So guess what? I'm so excited to sit down and talk to him so he can see if he can get some of these tickets removed off my record. I'm just saying. No, I'm joking. But for real though. Listen, y'all, I am standing here at the Temple Theater, and you don't know this, but I do, that this place has had so much impact on my family's life. My mother started her career here. She did her debut open here. The first time that she had her new band, she didn't been, never mind. But anyways, that's the point. Like, I have been in this building since I was 8 years old, watching shows, concerts, symphonies. They have done so much for this community, and I'm so excited about the Temple Theater and the ideals that we have and the surprise we have for you next month. So I just thought, why not open up Black News Tonight at the Temple Theater? And they said yes. They told me yes. So look, I ain't gonna not take the opportunity to open up my little bitty show at the Temple Theater. Bruh. But anyways, with that being said, if you're watching at home, why don't you do me a favor and share this video on your page? Listen, I need you to share this video on your page. Listen, I need you to share this video on your page. Listen, I need you to share this video on your page. Please and thank you. For real though. Hey guys, I got Nate Collison tonight, so let's get right into it. Let's not waste any more time. If you do me a favor and just share this video on your page. Thank you guys. Black News Tonight.
I'm Nate Collison, and I approve this message. Saginaw is a special city, one that my family and I have lived in, worked in, sent our kids to school in, and raised our families in for many generations. When my wife and I bought our house in the city and moved back to Saginaw after I finished law school, it was by choice, not out of necessity. My wife is a high school art teacher and had a great job in the Lansing area, and I had job offers from around the state and country. We could have gone anywhere, but we felt that it was important to move back home and raise our kids in a place where they could grow up around family and have the opportunity to get involved and give back to their community. We also wanted to use our talents and skills to improve our hometown. Basically, to become part of the solution and not part of the problem. As a father of 3 children and a small business owner, public service is a cornerstone of our family philosophy and a key element of how I approach my personal life. As the former chief appellate attorney for the Saginaw County Prosecutor's Office, I served the citizens of Saginaw by fighting for the rights of crime victims and worked to guarantee the constitutional rights of each and every person that was convicted of a crime. Now I defend the rights and liberty of people accused of crimes. Most of my clients are people of color, especially young people that live in our city. Not a day goes by that I don't take a call or a new case that shows me firsthand the inequities and disparities that plague our city and keep us from true prosperity. I also see the many dedicated citizens working tirelessly to make a difference. Serving my fellow citizens as a council person is the next step for me in my pursuit to make a difference in Saginaw. My goal is to make Saginaw a destination for families and businesses who want to grow and prosper, as well as making our city an attractive place for young people to live, work, and raise families. As an attorney, I am proud to be the 4th generation of my family to protect and serve the citizens of Saginaw in the courtroom. As your next council person, I will proudly work to protect and serve your families at City Hall so that we can make Saginaw a place of opportunity for everyone.
Listen, I'm here and I'm excited. I had the audio muted. This is our first time shooting in the same room since and I'm going to try not to focus on him and focus on y'all. But listen, we're here. Welcome to Black News Tonight. Thank you for tuning in. Do me a favor. You didn't hear in the entrance video. Share this video, like this video, share with your friends, like with your friends, and all of that good stuff. So let's get ready to go. Without further ado, I want to introduce to you candidate for city council, Nate Collison.
Hey, how's it going?
It's going pretty good, man. I'm still digging the pink in the background for breast cancer awareness, but welcome to the show, my friend.
Thanks, brother.
All right, thank you. I'm so happy to have you here tonight. Um, really excited about everything that you're doing and everything. I mean, this is a tough race. There's like 11 of you out here. I seen your
Yeah,
forum last night, but not to
it's
get too
awesome,
far.
man.
And yes, change is always going to come with when you hear all the voices. I feel so. But welcome, man. Welcome on the program. I like that chair, by the way. I didn't see that the last time I.
Oh,
New
thanks.
chair.
No,
Got the
man,
soap.
this old school Craigslist find.
You got the Sultan chair in the house. All right. Well, listen, I want to start off with some icebreakers, obviously, and get ready to do that. Just to get us comfortable when starting off, always feels like you'd be like, I don't want to, I don't know him. No, I'm just joking. You'd be like trying to figure out a way to get into questions. So we wanted to try something new, and you're the first person that we get to try it with. So, uh, first up, here it is. Icebreaker round one. Our first
Sweet,
icebreaker on
let's
Black
do it.
News Tonight. If in fact you had the opportunity to hang out with any cartoon character, who would it be
Oh
and why?
man, any cartoon character?
Yes, sir.
I don't know. I mean, okay, so going way back, I was a big He-Man fan when I was a kid, right?
Yeah.
And I think that'd be pretty sweet. I mean, he rides on the back of that giant cat, which is pretty awesome, right? Like
Right.
go around having sweet adventures. Um, I don't know. I mean, well, my kids watch some pretty awesome cartoons too. Like there's this one Xavier Riddle in the Secret Museum on PBS where they're in this museum and there's this crazy computer thing down in the basement that helps them travel back in time to like meet famous people and like hang out with them. And so that would be cool, you know. Go back in
Hey,
time
hey,
and meet like Harriet Tubman or Frederick Douglass or something like that, you know,
stop. Are
kick it with
you
them.
like stop? You're stop. You're doing too good at this because like that's our next icebreaker question. Like if you had the opportunity, if you literally had the opportunity to have dinner with two famous people,
Ooh, dinner.
dead or alive, dead or alive, who would those two people be and why?
Wow. At the same time or like separately?
Well, I mean, it says any two. Do you can choose to go out? I would go out with them separately because I
Well,
wouldn't want to have to share that time with nobody. So.
I don't know, man. See, I'm kind of a I like thrive in chaos a lot of the times. And so I might invite like two totally opposite famous people to dinner and just watch them duke it out, you know, like epic proportions.
We need to hire Nate Collison as a producer on Black News Tonight. So
Just
because
like
we don't.
sit back, have a couple of drinks and see what happens, you know? I mean, I don't
I
know.
get it.
But
No,
I think famous people, I don't know. I mean, alive or dead, that's tough. There's so many historical figures that I have influenced me and that I have a lot of respect for. Um, man, that's tough. I wouldn't even
all
know
right.
where to start.
I'm gonna
I
give
think
you
I'd like to
five.
meet. I think I'd like to meet Gandhi. Like,
God,
and you know, you'd have a healthy dinner if you ate with Gandhi, right?
right.
and
Danger, did you
and
pack any white cloths for this interview tonight? Because this is gonna be
no, but we could take a break if you need to go get some.
good. No. If it was look, if Danger didn't put so much work into making sure this was produced well, like maybe I would take a break.
Oh,
But
I think that you did a great job. The production value is fantastic.
yeah,
I
you know,
I think also maybe man, I don't know. It's tough. I mean, there's like all your stereotypical people, but you know, I think I'd also like to have dinner with Ernest Hemingway or
I don't know
John
who that is.
Steinbeck.
I don't know who Ernest
Uh,
Hemingway is, and I.
they're authors like classic American authors. Giant
Mhm.
Steinbeck, Ernest Hemingway.
Oh no, I know
Well,
John.
I don't know.
I know John. I don't know Ernest. Like I, yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. But either that or invite two polar opposites, like Churchill and Mussolini and let them duke it out, you know.
Just
Just sit
they
back,
just gonna they just gonna be
you know.
fighting like right in front of us. So
Right?
listen, that
The
brings me to
real
my next
question though,
question.
the
Yep.
real question is who gets to pick the menu? How does that go down?
Well, I mean, I would say that if right, probably eat Italian if it was Muslim. I don't know if you heard Danger say that, but I
I
did.
don't know. I wouldn't let Mussolini pick though. Mussolini doesn't get to pick dinner because like he made a that dude. I don't trust his judgment. You know what I'm saying?
Look, I don't know. I understand. Like I'm very finicky about eating, but like my dad was Italian, and like I would not want to have pasta because like pasta is like rice or potatoes. Like you might have my dad's like, oh, I made some raviolis. I'm like, oh, great. And the next day I made some spaghetti. I'm like, oh, great. I'm like, oh god, more spaghetti, more pasta. So I don't know. I mean, that does bring me though. I don't want to stay here too long because we got like tons of stuff to talk about today.
All
Um,
right.
the next question and the last question in the icebreaker challenge here, first time on Black News Tonight. And it's actually really it's working well because like I haven't seen you. I've seen you on two different camera screens, and this is like it's really good for you right now. Besides your
Hey
walk around
man,
the city.
I compartmentalize pretty well.
Look, the next question is: would you rather, if you had the opportunity to have a time travel machine, okay? Would you rather travel back in time to meet your descendants? I mean, I'm sorry, to meet your ancestors, or
Mm.
travel to the future to meet your kids' descendants?
Okay, so first of all, we set aside like the quantum mechanical aspect of this because you know traveling back in time, I guess theoretically may be possible, but like traveling in the future, I don't know whether that is. Well, none of it is. But anyway, you've seen all the movies and TV shows, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like you don't want to go back and like mess with stuff because maybe like you don't exist, you know. Although
Like
you
time
remember that
travel?
show? What was that show called? Like Sliders, where they the main character's name was like Samuel Beckett, and they like jumped through time, like going back, had to like change stuff.
Oh, wait, that
Remember that?
wasn't
And there was like,
Sliders. No, that was Oh God. It
you know
was
what
in
I'm talking
Sliders.
about?
Yeah, but I remember this movie. They're
Oh
jumping.
no,
They're like,
Quantum Leap was Quantum Leap. I think that's what it was
oh,
called.
okay. So what's Sliders about?
I think it was similar, but
Oh.
they jumped around. They had to kind of like change situations and stuff. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I guess maybe going into the future, I don't know that I'd want to meet like my descendants because I think there's like a certain element of like vanity in wanting to do that, and like that's not really my thing. But like I would really like to see if there's like flying cars or aliens or like we're going to other planets and stuff. That would be cool.
So you don't want to affect your descendants, but you want to know what they living like, huh?
Yeah, or just like cruise around and like maybe check them out from afar, so like they don't know that
Right.
I'm there, so they don't like
I
affect
respect that.
anything.
I respect that.
But going back in time
Um,
would be cool too. I mean, it's crazy to think that like so when I was 30, I still had five grandparents, right? Like I was super fortunate. I have been super fortunate. None of them are with us anymore. But when I was 30, I had all four of my grandparents and a great grandma. And when she was born, they didn't have running water or a radio, let alone like a TV or anything, right? And they like travel around in horses. And like she just died within 10 years. Like can you imagine like the change in society from like when
mm,
she was born like out on a farm over in the a west side of the county until 10 years ago. I mean, that's crazy. I mean, but if you think about that, if you and I are fortunate enough to be 96 years old, like think of the change that we've seen so far in our lives and what's going to happen or what might happen 50 or 60 years from now. It's crazy.
Right. No, I totally agree. And so we're having I got some stuff in my ears. No, I totally agree. My dad was older, so my dad was 87 when he passed, and he was born in 1931. So a lot of
Oh
times, like
man.
my yeah, I know my. Well, I mean, he's not my biological dad. I don't know. A lot of people don't know that, but he's my dad. He raised me since I was 6 years old.
Yeah.
So I love older people because like of the vibe that they have, and like you learn so much wisdom and knowledge. We had a couple weeks ago we had former Mayor Joyce Sills on, and that might have been last week actually, if I'm not thinking. No, no, last week was another candidate for. Do you still hear me?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I didn't know because things changed, but we had former Mayor Joyce Sills, and it was just like so much robust wisdom
Yeah.
that she had, like,
Knowledge.
and it was knowledge that you have to live through some decades, you have to live through some
Mhm.
time to gain and gather. So I respect that, like, having. I mean, I'm not that blessed to have five. You had five grandparents when you were 30. I'm 30 now, and
Yeah.
I have one grandmother. Well, two. I have So my paternal grandmother's alive and my paternal grandfather's alive. My maternal grandmother's passed and my maternal grandfather's passed, and then like I have a step grandfather that's alive. But wisdom
Well,
is.
you are fortunate. You were fortunate
Mm-hmm.
to still have them.
Yeah. So we all are fortunate, like, to have anybody in life, because life is such a passing game. I have one more question for you, just kind of funny kind of question thing. What is
Okay.
a fun fact about Nate Collison uh, that not too many people would know?
Ooh. Uh, so my law partner has been my friend since we were like 6 years old, and he always jokes around. He calls me an undercover nerd because, like, I don't know, I probably come off as, kind of a easygoing guy. I like to, go to concerts and have a good time. But like, I'm also super into like really kind of obscure things. Like I read a lot, and my wife always, let's put it this way, my wife always tells me that I should go on Jeopardy because of all the random like knowledge and information that I have. So, little known fact about me, I'm a secret nerd.
You're a secret. I don't know. Okay, you about to get mad at me, but I don't care. Or you may not. I don't know if it's a secret that you're a nerd. Like you're studying, like you have a master's degree coming, you're running for city council, you're a
Well,
lawyer currently. Is that a secret? Come on.
I don't know.
Okay, let me tell you what's a fun fact about me that nobody knows. I am like an introvert. See, that's a real true fact. No one knows it because
The guy on the TV show.
the guy the guy on American, like, so come on, like we know you be in books, like even the people you wanted to hang out with was literally book writers, like we know
Yeah,
you a
well.
nerd. I'm sorry, I got. By the way, I noticed you trimmed the beard. It's not on your shirt right now. It's like
Oh yeah, I
it
actually
was.
straightened it. Put a little product in
Mm-hmm.
there, straightened it up.
Yeah, it's
It
looking
look nice for
nice.
you guys.
Yeah, well, I'm
Yeah,
happy. I got my haircut for you.
I
Shout out
saw
to.
that, man. Hey, listen, man, you got some solid hair, dude. You got some
Thank you.
solid hair. I'm jealous.
I don't know if you can see, but my barber be doing the magic. Okay,
Oh
Twan makes
man,
sure that I'm not
yeah,
there yet, but Twan makes sure that
yeah.
you don't see all the imperfections. But thank you for the compliment. And you
It's
you
tight.
wear a bald head well, and the beard is
Well,
maintenance very well.
hey, so check it out. Went to a job interview to be the legal counsel for the state House Democrats, right? A
Mm,
few years ago when I was a prosecutor. So I go down to Lansing. I go through this interview. It's with like some of the main people down there, like staff and whatnot in the Democratic Party in Lansing. And it's a great interview. And at the end, one of the guys turns to me. He's like, "I got one more question for you." I said, "Yeah, go for it." He said, "Who would win in a fight, ninja or a pirate?"
Hmm.
Like literally, I'm in like this official office building in Lansing. I got a three-piece suit on, sit in the room with all these people, and this guy says, "Who would win in a fight, a ninja or a pirate?"
Wow.
Mm-hmm. I thought it was a trick question. I was like, "This has
I
got to be
don't
a trick question."
see
So you
because
give me your answer, and I'll tell you my answer.
I'm sorry, Nate. I didn't know that you were the host tonight. You asking
I'm sorry.
questions?
I am also sorry.
No, it was a joke. I love it. I love it. Hey, I'm actually digging. Okay, so a pirate or a ninja? Here's the problem that I'm having with this question.
Yeah,
All I
let's hear
keep
it.
seeing is Raphael and like Super Ninja Turtles. I'm not like actually seeing a real ninja. Like I know that's like probably not.
That's
I
okay.
know he wasn't talking about Raphael and like the Super Ninja Turtles, but if I'm thinking if I relate to like, and I don't want to sound, this is hard, but if I relate to like Bruce Lee or like I would consider those like real true ninjas. Like I'm
Yeah.
thinking they about to whoop a pirate's behind.
Yeah.
For people
Yeah.
like that's I mean I'm just thinking like I don't know if you remember that one movie like where Jackie Chan, he's in this wooded area and he's the only guy, he's by himself, everybody running around trying to kill him, and nobody can kill him because like he's like by this time he's like they're always a real far reach too, but like this time he's got like a bloody ankle, a bloody knee, and like he's hiding behind barricades in the woods and like, but this dude was, I mean, the way the movies portray him. But if I'm thinking of Super Ninja Turtle, I think the pirates got it. But I'm gonna go with Ninja.
So I
It's a
agree.
good
I
question.
love kung fu movies, right? I love
Danger,
old school
take the
kung
note and write
fu.
that down for an icebreaker. By the way.
So I love kung fu movies. So my first thought is, well, obviously it'll be a ninja. I mean, come on. You got a drunken pirate who's got like a wooden leg and a parrot on his shoulder. Like that guy is gonna be able to like do anything to some ninjas, you know? Well, I thought about it for a minute, and I was convinced that it was a trick question. So he's like, "Who would win, ninja or pirate?" So I looked at him. I said, "Depends on which one's the Democrat."
Oh God! All right, so what? Wait, wait. And what was his response? We got to know that.
They just kind of looked at me like they'd asked that question before, and no one had approached it like that. But needless to say, I didn't get the job. I mean, maybe it was because of that. I don't know.
Okay, next question. Because you actually have tied into like four questions with your answer, so might as well get to it. You're running for city council now,
Yeah.
but I would like to know why did you decide to leave the prosecutor's office?
Oh man. So I'd been there for 5 years. And I started out as an assistant, and after a couple of years, I got promoted to chief appellate attorney. And over the course of those 5 years, I argued over 100 cases at the Michigan Supreme Court, a couple at the Supreme, or at, I'm sorry, over 100 cases at the Michigan Court of Appeals, a couple at the Supreme Court. I won all of them, and I had gotten to the point where I was ready for the next challenge. You know, I had basically advanced as far as I was going to in that office. They got a great team of upper management, and I didn't really know. I wasn't really sure that I wanted to do the exact same thing every day for, you know, any given number of years. So that's actually the reason why I started working on my master's degree in healthcare administration. I teach Law 308, which is a business law course at Saginaw Valley. And because of that, my status as an adjunct professor, I get a 50% tuition discount. So basically, to take a semester of graduate classes costs the same amount as they pay me to teach a semester as an adjunct. So I thought, well, might as well do this. Maybe give me some options when I decide to move on from the prosecutor's office. Now, I ultimately decided to just to start my own firm, um, and not go that route, but still finish the degree. Actually, I'm in the process of working on my thesis right now, which is not coming along very well, but I'll get it done. But entrepreneurship and small business has been a part of my family for both sides of my family for generations. My grandfather, Charles Collison, started a law firm in 1963 that my dad and three of his brothers currently own and operate. My mom's father, Jack Egloff, was a real estate broker here in Saginaw, and developer, and he had a real estate company called Egloff Realty for a long time. He served as the president of board of realtors here in Saginaw County for a long time. And so both of my parents came from households that were supported by small businesses, by entrepreneurs. And that's how I was raised. My dad and his brothers, my uncles, own and operate their law firm. And I decided that it was time for me to go and my own name.
Wow, that was a great answer, man. And I got so much history about your family. I didn't know that your dad was a lawyer as well. I mean, did you say
Yeah.
grandfather? Well, no, you
Yeah,
said
my
dad, and
dad.
I didn't know I was your dad either. Like, I need to remove Alan and put Collison.
No, I
'Cause-
got an uncle named Charles too.
oh, Charles, on your mama's side, right?
No, no, my dad's youngest brother is Charles Collison, just like my grandpa.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I just want to make sure. I was like, wait, yeah, no, no, your dad's not. Your dad's name is what then? Or if you don't
Jeff.
want to mention it, Jeff. All right.
No, that's right. He's
I
probably
got
watching.
confused. I was like, I thought you said but you said grandfather, and I heard father. That's all I heard. So I got to make sure I
Yeah,
get my
no.
story right. I'm like, did
But
somebody really name?
before that, my great great uncle Harold was an attorney in town. So actually, I'm fourth generation of my family practice law in Saginaw County.
Wow, wow,
It's a
that man,
family
that's some.
business.
It's a family business. Practicing
Well,
law, I
yeah, I would
understand it.
joke around, man. I joke around with
Hmm.
people. Like some families have like stores or shops or bars or whatever. Like my family is a bunch of lawyers,
Right, and
so you can imagine what
totally.
Christmas is like.
Well, my dad says if you don't pay any of your bills, make sure you pay your lawyer because if you pay your lawyer, you can always get out of jail. So,
At least you got
because
somebody to try.
you got, hey, try, but like if you really do your lawyer well, they might even pay your bond. I'm just saying. All right, stop. Okay, I don't have to worry about going to jail anytime soon. I hope because you're about to get these tickets cleared up that I mentioned in the intro. Eh, Danger, will you send him $1 cash app so he can go down and be my lawyer and get this stuff together? Like, look, I'm looking at Danger. No, I'm just joking. Listen, I got another question. We're gonna rapid fire them and keep them coming at you. I'm actually really enjoying um, everything tonight. Like, I didn't know this much about you, so the next question is I know that your video says it. I know that you have done, well, look, you've done two debates, or I'm sorry, forum. Two, well, ours was a debate. The NAACP's was a forum, a non attack forum. I know that you've done two of those now. So a lot of this stuff gets redundant, I understand. But your video says, your platform says why you're running for city council, but can you tell the viewers out there again why you're running for Saginaw City Council here? Not in video form, but just with your own mouth. And give me, I don't want a whole bunch of on this. Give me 3 words. Can you do it in 3 words?
How about 4 words?
Okay, I'll do four.
All right.
Four.
My kids and your kids.
He finished. That was a good answer, man. So, um, my kids and your kids. I like
Well, it's
that.
actually 5 words. I threw the and in there. I was just gonna say my kids, your kids, but
Hmm.
so five
So
words.
so would you say because follow up question on that? Just I know that your kids are important to you, so obviously, would you say that um, will you say that this is something that you feel like in the long run could have can affect and impact a greater future for your children than they have now?
Well, Charles, let me. This is actually something that like really means a lot to me, and let me break it down for you. When I was growing up, I went to school with some of the most talented and gifted people that in all of my travels, all of my experiences that I've ever met. I grew up with people that are executives at Netflix, who are in important positions at Amazon and the Gap, doctors that are saving lives, teachers that are traveling around the world in the country, helping people who have aren't as fortunate as us, people that don't have the same means, scientists that are doing amazing work and amazing research. And the thing about it is, the one thing they all have in common is that they're from here and they're not doing any of that here. Our best and brightest don't have a whole lot of reason to stay here. Now, I had a choice. I went to Lansing, got my law degree. I had a choice to do any number of things, you know, but my family was here and I know the potential that this city has. And I knew that I could come here and make a name, not just for myself, but for my family and provide or to provide them the opportunity to become involved, but to do that by watching me, right? By leading it by example. Now, I saw the problem very early on, and it's brain drain, for lack of a better word. And I chose to become part of the solution instead of contributing to that problem. And I tell you right now, in my neighborhood, there are families in my neighborhood, at least the parents, where I grew up with their kids, and their kids are out doing great stuff, but they're not here. And I hear from those people all the time. We'll be out in the yard, kids are running around playing with the neighbors. I got great neighbors, so we're hanging out, in the evening after dinner or whatever. And I hear from these people how great they think that it is that I'm here with my family, raising my kids. My both of my parents are in town. My sister is in town, and they get to see their cousins. My kids get to see their grandparents, all the time. And that's important. And I enjoy it very much. And I want them, when they go to finish high school, and whether they stay at Saginaw Valley or go somewhere else, I want them to at least have the option and the opportunity to come back here and have the quality of life and the professional enrichment that they would have someplace else. And so running for city council, I when I first came back from Lansing, I worked for my dad and my uncles for about a year and a half. Then I joined the prosecutor's office. And I did that because I felt like this is my chance to give back to my community, right? To be an example for my kids and for, other people that, you can go out and you can do some good, right? Now, this opportunity to run for city council is the next step into contributing to the overall success of Saginaw, to make it a place that not only you and I and the viewers want to live in, but the place that our kids want to live in, the place that they want to come back to after they've gotten their college education or after they've earned their learned their trade, and gotten their certification or whatever it is. The opportunity for them to live and thrive and have a decent life, a prosperous life, should exist here in Saginaw. And I want to make sure that it does.
Wow. That Nate, those are all fantastic. Like the opportunity to live and thrive should exist in Saginaw. I think that's something like that everybody should hold on to. I definitely believe in that. And I look, I'm all for that because that's why we even started Black News Tonight, because we want everyone to be aware of all of these things when we come to what's going on in the city. Because I feel like a lot of times people don't know like how great this city is. And for time's sake, and I want to make sure we get everything, and we got a lot of stuff to cover tonight. And the next question is, and I think I know this one, but I still have to ask because it would only be fair because I've asked everyone. Um, and here you go. So, are you excited about any of your running mates? Any of your running mates, whether they're incumbents or whether they're just candidates running? There's 11 of you running. Do you have a top five? And are you excited about anybody besides yourself?
So I was just having this conversation earlier today with a friend of mine, and I'm not like big on name dropping, but you probably know him. So anyway, I'm talking with a friend of mine, and he asked me that same thing, and I told him, you know what, I am always going to vote for the best candidate or candidates that as I see them on the day of the election. Now I'm going to do my research, I'm going to do my homework, but every election I've ever voted in, I've never actually made up my mind until I was standing there in the ballot box. And I tell you what, sitting through these last two rounds of questioning was great. Frankly, I think the voters are going to have a hard time because it seems like the majority of us tend to agree on a whole lot of things. Now, the question that the voters are going to have is, who do you think you can get it? Who do you think can get it done? Right? It's one thing for a bunch of people to agree and say, yeah, this is what we should do. These are all great ideas. It's another thing to actually go and get it done. And the thing about me is I'm that guy. I'm the one at the end of the day that gets things done. That's why people call me when they're accused of murdering somebody. That's why people call me when they're getting sued because of a bad contract deal. That's why people call me when they have lost custody of their children or they have a loved one who is suffering a mental infirmity and they need to make sure that they have the proper framework set up to care for them. It's because I get stuff done. So, a lot of great ideas, a lot of good people, a lot of great intentions. But at the end of the day, who's going to get it done for you? And that's what I'm going to ask myself when I go to the ballot box.
Wow. You're going to ask yourself that when you get to the ballot box. So you mean to tell me, Mr. Cullison, now I got to ask because I know who's running and I know who's already in a seat and I know who's trying to get their seat back. And I know you also this is not your first time running. This is your first time in running for the elected official position. But there was an appointment that you also went for
Mhm.
recently. So I guess my question is, if all of these people that you've been around, because you've been able to touch, there was three of you that went for an appointment recently when Clint Bryant stepped down to run for 95th district. Reggie Williams ended up getting that seat. Um, do you and you still came back, which I find it very good that you came back. The other candidate did not. There was one more person that ran for that appointed seat as well. So there shows some passion and some drive. But why did you feel like you didn't get the appointment?
Well, Charles, I don't know. I'm not really one to engage in speculation or whatever. I mean, it is what it is. And Chief Williams is a great guy. I actually had the opportunity. I was the first candidate to be interviewed. And by the way, if you want to see the questions that they asked and my responses, those are posted on my website at collisonforcouncil.com. You can also watch those interviews on YouTube. Now, after I was done, I could have just sat in the gallery and watched everybody, but instead, I went back into the room where everybody was waiting, and I had the opportunity to have a really great conversation with Chief Williams. I mean, I had met him before as a prosecutor, but never really had the opportunity to interact with him. And we had a great conversation. And I walked out of there with no disdain or bitterness. But I did know that I was going to come back and put it in the hands of the voters and not the sitting members of the city council.
Listen, you're right, and I'm not. I wanted to address that because I feel like the it should be known that this is not something you're going for just now. Like this is something you've been working on. This is something that's been in your mind, and it doesn't matter who got picked or not. We make decisions in the city all the time, right? But I like the fact that this is not the first time that you decided to get 50 petitions and go for city council. This is something that's been brewing in your heart to be a leader and to change this city for a while. Is that not correct? That's why you went for the appointment, because you
Oh,
said
hey,
that this is for
listen,
my kids and
even,
your kids.
Charles, even before that, I've sat on the Riverfront Development Commission since 2014. I was the chairman for a year. Clint Bryant and I have co chaired the Riverfront Beautification Day since 2014. I mean, I'm all about community service. I get involved any way I can. Currently, I'm the vice president of the Saginaw County Bar Association. This is my second time around. I was about 5 years ago. I was president and then vice president. Um, I They gave me the community service award when I left the board, and I sat on the board for a while, both before and after. I'm always looking for ways to get involved, right? Like if you don't participate in the world around you, then you have no reason to complain if you don't like it. And so I encourage everybody that's watching, anybody who might watch this, find something that you're passionate about. Go out, get involved, contribute, right? You've never gotten to know your community until you play a role in making it all happen. And there's tons of ways to get involved. I mean, it's not just a political appointment or an election, there are tons of community organizations. The city has a bunch of like commissions and groups with seats that quite often go unfilled. There's just lots of ways to get involved, and anybody who has the desire to improve the circumstances around them, improve their city, there's tons of ways that you can do that. And if you're going to sit around and you are going to complain about the things you don't like, then you know what? Get up and do something about it. Because if you don't, then nobody wants to hear it.
Truth. Don't complain unless you get up and do something. You definitely gotta do that, and all of those things are valid points. I didn't know you were the vice president of the board. Man, I keep learning. Like, bruh. you got you got so much of a record. So that brings me to my next question: what qualifies you for the city seat, the elected position of city? I've been saying it a lot. City council candidate. What qualifies you to sit on that seat and be Councilman Nate Collison, not lawyer Nate Collison?
Well, first of all, my professional training and my life experiences have really put me in a position to be well suited to sit as a councilman. I mean, city council meetings are governed not just by the city charter, but by this set of parliamentary rules called Robert's Rules. And not a meeting goes by where somebody wants to make a motion or an amendment and they don't know how to do it because they're not familiar with the parliamentary procedure. And so either they defer to current mayor Floyd Clark, who's a fantastic lawyer, or they defer to the city attorney, right? So I know the parliamentary procedure. I know Robert's rules. I have a copy of it on my bookshelf at the office. Now, coupled with the training that I've received in conflict resolution, in diffusing hostile situations, negotiating, bringing different groups with different interests together to reach common ground. In addition to the leadership training and education that I've received at Saginaw Valley while earning my master's in healthcare administration leadership, I think that I'm exceptionally well suited to serve our city council. And plus, I've served on a number of boards in executive positions. Former president and vice president of the Saginaw County Bar Association. I sat on the executive board of the Fort Club of Saginaw County for a number of years. My wife and I started a domestic nonprofit corporation called the Saginaw Art Initiative, which we use to fund and put on the Saginaw Art Fair in Old Town. And going back before that, I was a class senator in law school. And before that, I was involved in student government at Saginaw Valley. And I mean, that's going back more years than I care to mention. Now, all of those experiences, coupled with the education and training that I've gone out and earned, because by the way, nobody ever paid a dime for me to go to college other than myself, and nobody ever paid a dime for me to go to law school or to get that master's degree other than myself. And there's a great deal of value in that when you have to earn those things and work 3 or 4 jobs at a time to pay your rent and to pay your car insurance. I once took a job as a cook at a local bar while I was going to Saginaw Valley just because I knew that on the nights that I worked, I would get to eat dinner, right? And so the multitude of experiences, training, and education, I think, makes me very well suited to serve our city effectively and to make the voters proud of the results that I'm going to get for them.
Wow, all great answers. Um, Follow up question to that. To you, sir, for those who don't know what the description or they're unfamiliar with the job of city council member, what do you think the job is? What is your description of it? You're running, so you've been able to go in through some charters and read some documents, I hope. Um, what is your description of a city council seat?
Well, the thing about city council is you've got a fairly large body of people that represent the whole city. Unlike Bay City, we don't have a ward system where you have 1 or 2 people from pre-designated sections of the city. Every council person represents everyone in the city of Saginaw. And your job as a council person is to listen to your constituents, to your citizens, to make sure that you're well versed in the issues that concern them, to make sure that you work well with your fellow council people, and also to make sure that the rest of the organization, rest of the city government and administration is functioning the way that it should. Now, there's kind of a bottleneck in city with the city government structure because it goes from a large council down to the city manager, and then from there spreads out to the rest of the administrative structure. But as a city council person, you're responsible for holding people accountable and making sure that resources are used effectively and efficiently, and making sure that the priorities of the city match the priorities of the citizens, and not just the priorities of special interests or groups or any one individual.
Listen, Nate, this is our first. This is completing our first half. Um, we're gonna take a 5 minute intermission. Um, Man, I've enjoyed this so far so much. So
Me too,
let's go to
Charles. I
break.
think it's rough.
Yeah, I think this is going great, man. Let's go to break. I gotta, I got some. Yeah, I'm gonna just say it. I gotta pee. Okay, so since I gotta pee, we gotta go to break because I gotta use the bathroom, and I'm sure Danger might gotta use the bathroom, and I'm sure you might have to use the bathroom. It's been an hour, so I gotta pee. I said it. My son says. I say
All
you. I
right.
said Charles. Do you?
Before we
What will you
go,
say? Yeah, go ahead.
when we come back, we got two special announcements that I want to make. So tell your viewers they better stay tuned. And second, I'm gonna give a shout out to my boys Gabe and Bertie over at Green Beans.
Hey, Green Bean.
What
Hey,
up?
somebody put that in the. So there's a stream if you want to pop on it too. Someone did put that in the conversation, like on the. For some reason, it's not coming up on our thing to put the comments up there, but someone totally put Green Beans on there, like, and I was like,
Yeah.
at first,
What
because
up?
I'm not really. Hey, shout out to Green Beans. I'm not paying attention to your shirt. I'm paying attention to like focusing and making sure my, I got that one crazy eye that y'all see go off sometimes. I'm just making sure of that. Look, Nate, intermission coming up now. Guys, stick
All right, brother.
around. Give me a solo really quick, Danger. Give me a solo. Stick around. Listen, Mr. Collison said he's got some exciting announcements. He's dropping some exclusive stuff right here on Black News Tonight, y'all. So since he is, we're gonna take a 5 minute intermission. You know the song, you love it, and guess what? Let it play. Roll the music, Danger. I know. Look, that music right there, B. Shout out to James Owens Jr. Shout out to Mike Pruitt. Mike Pruitt wrote that song, music wise, and James Owens Jr. They both kind of worked on that track. It's I'm running. Available. No, I'm just joking. It is I'm running though. Saginaw musicians created it, and I sang it, and I wrote the lyrics. So if you want to buy it, you can buy it on Spotify. All right. Hey, this is our second half of our 2 hour exclusive interview with Nate Collison, candidate for city council. I'm so excited to be back with you guys again. Listen, if you haven't had the opportunity to share this video, why don't you do that now? If you ain't see my opener in the beginning, I was very aggressive about share this video, and share this video, and share this video. So, with that being said, without further ado, we got our opening question for the second half of the show. We're gonna bring Nate Collison up right now. Welcome back, Nate. Did you get a great intermission there?
Oh yeah, man. I
Good,
spent
good.
most of it just like rocking out to your song, man. I think it's awesome.
Did you bring your guitar with you? You ain't got it in a.
Oh man, I got I got guitars. Yeah, but I don't know if I'm gonna strap one on tonight.
You're not gonna strap one on
We'll
right
see.
now tonight. Well, you're a
See how it
musician,
plays
man.
out.
Well, listen, we got a special exclusive announcement coming up here soon. But before we do that, I got one question for you to start off our second half of the show, and that question is: what will you do, or what do you think should be done with the vacant land available in the city of Saginaw? A lot of times we hear this question as like the blight or blight or oh, I got to do something with the blight. But what do you think should be done with the vacant land in the city?
Well, here's the thing. I mean, to a certain extent, the city council, has some input, but a lot of that vacant land has been acquired by the Saginaw County Land Bank, and there's not a whole lot city can do once that happens. So, I'd like to see some development. I'd like to make sure they pay their property taxes, and I'd like to, the adjacent lot owners, in some instances, have the opportunity to purchase those lots at a very discounted rate. But there's a lot of vacant land, and there should be an opportunity for people, entrepreneurs, for community groups to be able to put that to some productive use. Now, one of the things that I think is important for the city is to expand our citizens' access to fresh and healthy food. And so, whether it's setting up more farmers markets in those lots or starting allowing community groups to create urban gardens or community gardens in their neighborhoods in order to facilitate improved access to fruits and vegetables to our citizens, especially our children, then I think that would be a great use. But there's so many people that have so many ideas, and I think that those people should be given a voice and an opportunity to see their dreams and their visions for the city come to life. And hopefully, if I'm elected to city council, I can help them do that.
Well, that's good. That's great. Look, the next one. I have the opportunity today to see one of your signs in the city. I first of all, I seen one obviously via Facebook today with some beautiful sign holders or sign standers next to
Yeah,
it, which was amazing. That
those
was
are your
awesome to
daughters.
see. Yeah, they're supporting dad, and I like that. But I was actually driving myself personally in the city of Saginaw, which is really cool because I've been so involved in. I mean, I would say I've been very involved in this city council election over the last couple of months. So every time I see anybody sign, because your names have been on my tongue so much with like booking the first debate that we had before people start voting, just want to put that out there. And I had the opportunity to drive by Gallagher and Fordney at the split across from Jefferson. It used to be Health Bay, our health delivery. I think it still is health delivery right there. Um, Clinic. There is a Nate Collison sign there, and I was like, beep 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 beep, because he's gonna be on the show tonight. I was so excited, so
Thanks,
I was
man.
pointing, but beeping like you could hear me beeping at it. But here's a question: your slogan is "Moving Saginaw Forward." Is that correct?
Yeah, I mean that's one of them. That's the one on the sign.
Well, that's the one on the side, so that's the one that we all gonna know. So, moving Saginaw forward. How is Nate Collison? I think this gets redundant after you've asked it so many times. So try to be light on your feet and give me some new stuff that you haven't said. And I know you're good at that because you're a lawyer. So, how does Nate Collison move Saginaw forward? And how do you feel that Saginaw is behind?
Listen, you move Saginaw forward just like anything else, one step at a time. And how is Saginaw behind? I mean, to say that Saginaw's behind might lead somebody to believe that, like, I'm ashamed of the progress that we've made, or that, I think that Saginaw isn't as great of a place as it is. But what we need to do to move Saginaw forward is to think about what we want for our citizens in 10 years or 20 years. Do we want vibrant economic districts downtown in Old Town? Are we happy with the blight that we see going down East Genesee? Do we want to bring those neighborhood stores back? Do we want to take the plywood off of those boarded up buildings? Because I think that if we do want to do those things, then we need to take step forward and create opportunity for our citizens, for investment, for jobs. Listen, when I was a prosecutor, the I had a very unique job as the chief appellate attorney. One of the things that I did was to review trials. So just about every trial that got held, I got the transcripts and I read them. And I had knowledge, I had information about the defendants and about the victims and the facts of the case, thousands of them over 5 years. And I can tell you right now that the two things that most repeat offenders have in common, and this is for misdemeanors, felonies, everything, the two things that most of them have in common, and this crosses racial lines, crosses gender. Most of them had did not have a good job and did not have a quality education. Now, there's all kinds of intangibles too, like family life and you know, uh, personal experience or mental health issues. But overwhelmingly, most repeat offenders don't have a good job and they don't have a good education. And if we can move Saginaw forward and address those things as best we can, then I think that we will see the kind of prosperity that some of these other candidates are talking about remembering when they were kids. And I remember it too. My grandpa Collison grew up over by the old Potter Street station, and my grandpa Egloff grew up over on Ray Street, right behind the old fairgrounds, right? Now, back then, over by the Potter Street station, that was a big Irish Catholic neighborhood. And down on Ray Street, you had another big working class neighborhood. And those were places where people lived and they raised their families and they cared about their communities and they went to work at decent jobs, and their quality of life was the kind of lifestyle that all our citizens should at least have the opportunity to have for themselves.
Wow. Okay, we got to get light. We can't stay here all day. So I'm going to ask you one question, and then I'm going to give you the opportunity to have the floor for a moment.
All
How
right.
long have you been a musician? How long have you been playing the guitar?
Oh
That's a
man.
musician's question because you know I'm a musician, so I think that's
Okay.
fascinating.
So first of all, I I'm 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 hesitant to call myself a musician. I think really like I'm a lawyer that plays the guitar. But my dad, my dad plays guitar, and my mom um, is she's a great singer. We grew up going to, I went to Catholic school growing up, and religion and religious education and church was always very important to my parents. And my mom sang in the choir. Um, she had us up there singing at an early age. I think I'm probably a better singer than I am a guitar player, but that's beside the point. Um, but I started playing the piano when I was probably like 7 or 8. Did that for a couple of years, and then my dad played guitar, and I was always very interested. So he wrote down a couple of chord patterns, and when I was probably 11 or 12, and I just kind of figured it out.
I don't know. I don't know if you said the right thing when you said you think you're better. I want to. Come on, man. Give you got a
Nah,
little set.
man.
Oh, you don't want to do it on this one, huh? You
no,
ain't gonna do it right
no,
here. Why you can't
no,
do it? We used to.
this isn't Black News Entertainment Tonight. This is Black News
Bruh,
Tonight.
the creator of this show is a musician. This is always Black News Entertainment, bruh. I don't know what you thought. Like you ain't see. I kn- I know you just got done Zumbayaing, so you forgot. Like you was Zumbayaing last night on the forum, but we don't Zumbaya at Black News Tonight. This is an entertainment industry right here. So you know, I know the Zumbaya and pulled all the production out of you, but no, we not Zumbayaing. So you got a little. Can you give me a little? Oh, beautiful. Can
Oh
you sing me
man, you
that?
put me on the spot.
You don't have to.
Put me
I'm
on
just
the
joking. Look,
spot.
this is your turn to have the floor.
Hey,
And
listen, man.
honestly,
If I start singing, I'll probably lose votes, so I'm gonna pass. I'll leave the singing to you, man.
y'all heard y'all heard it by him. Like Nate just said, he would lose votes if he sings. So I well, I ain't gonna say that, but I'm just tell you, y'all. Look, I'm gonna sing for the man. So no, go ahead. Give look. This is Nate's turn. Look, I'm excited. Like as an interviewer and as the host of Black News Tonight, my own little creation here. We have a team now. Like, let me do this before y'all got to give it up to David Danger, who is always in the background, making sure everything goes well, swell. And Rashid is our creative director, who will not she helped write tonight. So I'm excited about that. And now the announcement. Here you hear it first here on Black News Tonight. Mr. Collison, what you got to talk about, brother?
All right, so two things. First, I grew up. Well, my wife is a teacher. My mother-in-law was a teacher for a long time, and so was my mom. All very active in the MEA. Over the years, I've been in a number of unions. Most recently, I was the vice president of the prosecutor's office chapter of the Police Officers Association of Michigan. And today, I'm proud to announce that I am endorsed by the IBEW local here in town, 557.
Cool. Endorsed by the IBW local here in Saginaw.
The IBEW, the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers.
Hmm.
So,
IBEW.
also, the next big announcement that
Congratulations.
I'm very excited about. Thank you. Also, I'm very proud to be the only city council candidate endorsed by Saginaw County Sheriff Bill Fetterspiel.
Endorsed by Saginaw County Sheriff Bill Fetterspiel, the only candidate endorsed by Bill Fetterspiel.
Yes,
You used to
sir.
play Sheriff Bill Fetterspiel. I apologize. You used to play for. Did you play with Fetterspiel ever? I thought we talked about
Yeah,
like maybe.
I played rhythm guitar and lead guitar in his band. Took turns singing a few tracks. But he's a great guy. I ran it. I was his campaign manager in 2016. We were friends before that, and I am very proud to have his endorsement and his confidence that I'll be able to get on. If I get elected to city council, I'll be able to get the job done.
Okay, so if you're able to get on city council, first of all, congratulations on your endorsement by Sheriff Fetterspiel. I know that uh, uh, also a candidate that was running for city council. I mean, not city council. 95th was kind of running closely with Fetterspiel. I thought at one point. I think that was Amos. So um, we want to. I want to ask you some questions about racial injustice and the issue of racial injustice in the city of Saginaw. And I ask these questions candidly because I've been marching in this place for 3 months, and we've had a lot of things happen in our world. Our world is completely different, and completely going in a different. It's just not like what it was when we were kids. So how do you feel like raising your kids right now in the climate of the world? How is that, what everything that's going on, how is that affecting you as a parent and how you're rearing your children?
Well, listen, I I like to speak candidly about uh, this stuff too because I'm sitting here as a white guy, right? I have no personal experience with the kind of systematic racism that many of our citizens have had to deal with. I have no personal experience with the institutional racism that our citizens have unfortunately had to experience. All I can do as I sit here is try to empathize and try to listen and to understand and do my best to take that knowledge and use it to make sure that we address those things and address them in a way that isn't just paying lip service to it, that isn't just a simple acknowledgement, but rather a plan and effort to move forward and to eliminate it. Now, my children, one of the greatest things about living in the city, my oldest daughter is in fourth grade at Hanley. And one of the great things, it's a great school, but one of the great things about it is diversity. I mean, the level of diversity at her school is beyond anything that I had growing up, even when I got to college. And, there was a last summer, there was a day where she was playing with one of her classmates that lived down the street. And I go out there and it's her and three or four other girls, and she was the only white one. And that made me really proud.
Back. Wow. I understand, obviously, that your kid, you're raising great kids, but I also understand that in this climate, like you're running for city council to change things, and your platform is based on change and moving forward. And I respect that a lot. So I want to bring this back in a minute here. We're going to open up and allow you to talk and allow us to talk to anybody that wants to ask you personal questions in the audience. That's what we do. We do it every time. But with that being said, though, I got a question for you. You're a lawyer, so I can ask you this question and you would understand more than I can even understand. So with the recent developments of the domestic terrorists that plotted against our governor to kidnap her, how are you feeling about this? And as a lawyer, why the news media would not relay this as domestic terrorists? Instead, they're saying that they're a militia group. I mean, we can all call militia groups, but there's so many people that say they're in militia groups. But when you you contrive a plan to kidnap a governor, that's not. I feel it's a state official. Like that's a terrorist act. People could contrive. I mean, they wouldn't get you. I don't think. But they could do that to you because you're a candidate for city council, or you're the city council, you're councilman city council. How do you feel about that? How do you feel about the media and their coverage on it? Do you feel that it's, I mean, obviously if the AD talks about it, I guess we have to say it's real, but do you feel that's as serious as they're making it?
First of all, the reason that they label these people as militia groups and not domestic terror cells, like they really are, is because they're white. If these people were of Middle Eastern descent, if they were African American or not white at all, they'd be terrorists. And that's the sad truth of it. Now, I absolutely want to make it very clear that I do not condone extremist groups, racist groups, organizations like the Klan or neo Nazis or any of these Proud Boys or any of these other people out there. I think that we should make a very strong effort to root these people out, to put a stop to these organizations, and to bring them to justice. I could not believe when I read on the news that this plot to kidnap and or assassinate our governor and overthrow our government was real. It's crazy. And the fact that the media and people in Washington or even people here in Michigan down in Lansing are calling it anything other than it is, which is a hate group who's bent on destroying the progress that we've made both socially and racially here in this state and our country. These people are cowards. They're scared that what they feel is their ideal way of life, some skewed, perverse vision of an American dream, is being taken from them. And I think that we should at every turn fight it and root it out and eradicate it. And I think that it's sad that our leaders, some of them, can't call it what it is and can't look the American people in the face and voice their opposition to these people.
And you're right. We don't look these people in the face a lot and voice our opposition. I think we know after 100 years of so many trials, so many tribulations, and still even the media can't acknowledge that no, this is a terrorist act. This is what it is. Same people storming with guns. If a black man is walking to the Capitol building with a gun, he will not make it to that Capitol building, and I guarantee you that because we know this. This is knowledge. This is not just happening overnight. This is not something that we came up with because we like, oh, all of these people don't like me. No, I like the strong. You know, I mean, there's man, there's so much stuff like bringing these bonds together. Nate, I have to do this because we received some negative comments, and I don't want you to close this show without being able to defend yourself. And I want to know: do you want the opportunity to respond to any of these comments in the comment section?
I guess I don't. What comments are you talking about?
So there is some comments about your endorsement by Fetterspield and the way they feel about it, coming from one of our viewers, Jeffrey Bulls. And I want to make sure before we close the loop, because we've had a great interview here, and I don't want to close it without with because you can leave that there and let that spew overnight. But they want to know. They're saying that Fetterspield isn't a friend to the black community at all, and that's a very troubling connection. How do you feel about that? I watched Amos O'Neill run very closely with Fetterspield the whole summer during the protest, and they both got elected. They both got reelected, and this is now the general election. Um, does Fetterspield's views and opinions represent you? I guess does that does that tie together?
Well, first of all, I think that if the viewer wants to know what the sheriff's position is, you should probably ask him. I'm not the sheriff's surrogate. He is a friend of mine. We work closely. I think he is a very dedicated public servant. But I will also say that if you go back and you look at those election returns that you just mentioned, there was a millage for the sheriff's department on the ballot in the primary. It passed in every single precinct in the city of Saginaw. The sheriff, I'd have to go back and double check, but he won. If he didn't win every single precinct, then he won almost every precinct in the city of Saginaw. So I understand that your viewer may have a certain opinion, and I respect that. Everybody's entitled to theirs. However, I am not beholden to anyone. I don't push anybody else's agenda. I don't take orders from anybody, except for my wife sometimes. But I don't back down. I can't be bought, and I'm not in the pocket of anybody. So, I think that if there's a concern about the sheriff and about his contributions or his whether or not he's a friend to the black community, I think that those issues should be addressed with him directly because if the, that's a major concern, and if you have that, then you should get a hold of him and ask him about it.
Thank you for addressing that, and I appreciate your response. I, now obviously I host a show here, and that's my job to do that is to make sure everybody gets a fair opportunity to talk. I've had an interview. I want to ask you a question, and then we're going to close out. We've had a great time. I told you I wanted to, we always advertise 2 hours. We really do. And I'm not cutting your time short because Nate wants to get off. Nate said he'll be here till 12 o'clock. But honestly, with all of this election stuff and how much we've been doing, I asked Nate if I could cut the show, at 90 minutes tonight, just because it gets redundant. After you do a forum and a forum and a forum and this interview, this newspaper, all you're hearing is like vote, 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 census, 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 census. 11 candidates for city council. That's all you're hearing, and that's it gets really redundant, and we could sit here all night and talk about those things. But you answered the domestic terrorist question. Is there anything that you want to talk about tonight as far as your run? And I remember on the debate, you said if you're, I think you said it like this: if you want change, vote for Nate Collison. If you want the same, or something like it was kind of shifty wifty, but um, hey, look, we're all here. We're look. Tell the people, Nate, why they should go out and vote for Nate Collison.
Because I'm the candidate that's going to go out and listen to the community and get the job done for them. I mean, there's a lot of great ideas, like I mentioned earlier. A lot of candidates have mentioned a lot of great ideas. The question is who's going to get it done? Every single day, I go out and I get things done for my clients. I help them accomplish their goals, help them to achieve the things that they want to do as far as business development, family, personal matters. That's how I make my living, and that's what I'm going to do if elected to the city council. Now, like I said the last time I was here, if you're happy with the status quo, if you think everything's great and you like business as usual in your city government, then vote for the other people that are running. But if you want to see change, if you want to see action, if you want to see things get done, if you're tired of the same old thing, if you're tired about people talking about stuff over and over and not really seeing any results, then vote for me.
And we're back. Y'all, we had Nate Collison here tonight. And Nate, I want to thank you again for being on the program. And we'll have to talk again because you're a person that, first of all, always been respectful. Ever since the beginning of the process, when I called Nate for the debate, Nate was one of those people that was just like, Charles, of course, I'm going to do it. I only got this day available, but he called right back. He was on. He wants to hear. He wants people to hear his platform, his base. You guys listen. You pay attention. Always, I say this: go out, vote for 5 this year. Nate wants to be one of those because we have the opportunity to change the whole layout of the city council. And I believe that with my whole heart, Nate. And I know you know
We
that.
do.
I understand that there's 4 incumbents running, and I get that. And I know that usually it's really hard to get incumbents out of their seat. But there's some new blood out here that I feel do have a shot at shaking up the incumbent tree. And I'm not ashamed to say that. And I'm happy about having new blood because I listened to a person the other night that just literally said that they didn't want to work with new people. So, with that being said, like, you
Hmm.
got to vote for 5. And if people are saying they don't want to work with new people, then how are they going to change the city? How are they going to move forward and do something new? You guys, go to Nate Collison. What is it? Nate Collison for Council. Your Facebook page.
CallisonForCouncil.com or uh, Collison for Council on Facebook.
And CollisonForCouncil.com and Collison for Council on Facebook to get more info. He has it all laid out for you. Like he said, he is the unknown fact is that he's a nerd. Sure. Sure. He plays guitar. He's a lawyer. He's almost got his master's, or you got your master's. You're working on your PhD because you said thesis earlier.
No,
So
no.
usually,
Yeah,
oh,
I got to write my thesis.
wow. So for master's or PhD?
No, master's. I already have a
Okay.
doctorate. That's how you become a lawyer.
Well, get me together on camera. He has a doctorate. That's how you become a lawyer. Look, I'm always willing to learn. So look, he got me together. What about them tickets I talked about in the open?
Depends on what they're for, man.
I'm joking,
We'll talk.
but
Tell me. We'll talk.
but I'm gonna send you $1. We might need a lawyer. After all of these, election cycles is over and people don't win, we might need a lawyer. So I might need to send you $1. Um, I'm just joking, brother. Thank you again. Stick around for the close, Nate. I'll see you in our business meeting after the show. And guys, go out, check out Nate Collison. And Black News Tonight has some announcements to make tonight. And I'll be right with you, Nate. Listen, guys, I'm so excited to still be running Black News Tonight as your host. I'm so excited to have David Danger as our production director. I'm so excited to have Unknown Name as our creative director, who helps with questions, helps with all of those things. We've been running since this summer. This is episode 5 of season 2. I want to let you know about episode 6 of season 2. I know a lot of you know that I was on American Idol, and since we've been doing election cycles so hard, we want to have a light show next week on Friday. I have an artist from California, originally from Indianapolis, on the show, who is a contestant on American Idol with me my season. I have my mentee on the show, who is a contestant in Hollywood Week the season after my season. We auditioned together in Detroit. He never let go of the advice. Caleb Brown and Joel Wayman will be live next week. We're going to have a conversation that some of you don't have privy to, because we're going to talk about landing in Hollywood Week for the first time when Fox flew us in and we landed in LAX. Our experience, our behind the scenes experiences, our first auditions, our judges' auditions, how many auditions beforehand. We're going to have a whole conversation. First 30 minutes is going to include Caleb Brown. Second 30 minutes is going to include Joel Wayman. We're going to see a performance for both of them and a conversation from both of them. We're going to end the last hour of the show with all of us together because we all know each other. You get to learn and network with people. So listen, if you have the time and the opportunity, please tune in to Black News Tonight at 10 o'clock next week. Also, if you're looking to donate to this grassroots media company, this homegrown movement, you can do that at Black News Tonight on Cash App, which is $ Black News Tonight on Cash App. Also on PayPal, that's at Black News Tonight, or I'm sorry, Black News Tonight at gmail.com, and also on Venmo, Black News Tonight. Listen, guys, we love you. We thank you for viewing. We are excited about always bringing new and fresh stories. I mean, you heard the exclusives. Tonight, Nate dropped on us. IBW endorsed the brother. Sheriff Bill Fetterspill endorsed the brother, and he's running for city council. He's on fire. He's a lawyer. He's a family man, and you need to do your research and find out about the 11 candidates running for your city council. When I talk about politics in your city, that's city change, things that affect your children now. Like, we can get caught up on the legislation branch all we want, but until we focus at home, until we change our communities at home, nothing in our direct lives will change. With that being said, your singing TV host, signing out. Danger, give me the music, baby.